Hello, my name is Ethan, and welcome back to another episode of Path of Exile Sanctum League 3.20. In this episode, I want to do a build update for some key things that I've changed in the build, but most people will have trouble keeping up on. So first, I'll start it off with the Spectre, the Demon Harpy. We found some more information on, and I want to share it with you guys. I want to start it off with this page. So this was the Demon Harpy PoEDB, and then when we looked down, we saw that the EA, this was the name of the scream, EAS Hellscape Demon Elite 1 Screech, right? Now we actually have the real name. I finally was able to see it in game, and I got it, and then I googled it, and I found this. Piercing Screech. You take increased fizz damage. When we look down here, we see 3% per stack. This stacks up to 20. See here, max stacks 20. And so this is 60% increased fizz damage taken. That's a lot. If you have no other sources, this is 60% more damage for Fizz. Fizz is really good in 3.20 with the Harpy. The Harpy is insane. And now I'll mention something we have actually done to the Harpies. So now, so I run 3 Harpies, and then I'm also running Spell Echo so that the Harpy screams twice. And in one scream, it stacks 10 times. So in the double scream, it stacks 20 times in a single Harpy. And we have 3 of them. So the 60% increased Fizz damage taken is pretty consistent, and it's actually really nice. We would have actually loved to use Spell Echo on the monkeys before, but we couldn't. And then Spell Echo for the Arena Master doesn't really help. But then we have a Chaos Golem and Phantasms, which actually synergizes with the Spell Echo too. Okay, so then I have this POB, and I put nearby enemies take 69% increased Fizz damage, which I didn't finish it yet, because I wanted to show you. And the reason 69 is, well, all the Harpy, and then the extra 9 for the helmet on the Animate Guardian, Elder Helmet, 9% increased Fizz damage taken nearby enemy. Let's finish this off with an E. So from 18 to 28. Because it's that much more damage. It's, like, ridiculous. The Harpies are like the old monkeys of power, and so you really want to make sure these stacks stay up. And so the stacks only last for 4 seconds, and they actually have independent durations. So, like, if you stack them, it's not resetting the duration of the other ones. They all fall off at after 4 seconds of when they first got put on. So they'll fall off slowly, like one after another, not all at the same time. And then when you stack up an extra one at 20, it removes the first one, and then technically resets the timer, obviously, but because it's replacing it. So then I wanted to show this. Yeah, the Demon Harpy has a 9-second cooldown on the scream, and the duration of the this is the duration of the debuff. I don't know, like, they clearly separated this and made it super complicated. They broke this shit for no reason. But overall, this is acting like it's the damage per hit, because it's 10 hits, but then in POB it shows as all 1 hit, so it's unclear like how the Carrion Golem base damage would be added to this. Is it per hit, or is it the total skill cast? Yeah, I don't know. And then with this 9-second cooldown, we can actually lower this with the alt qual minion speed. I think it's Divergent. Let me check. Divergent minion speed has a minion cooldown recovery rate of 20%, so you could actually lower the cooldown of this skill, use this instead of the Phantasms, and then get the 20% less, so then we can have more screams and even lower cooldown on the Arena Master for the move speed. 20% uptime, pretty good. And then, like I showed, the 4-second duration. There's potential that you could increase this with, like, increased duration, so I was gonna do a Phantasm alt qual that gives the skill that it's connected to increased skill effect duration to test it out, but I don't have it, so rip. And then anyways, with 3 Harpies with a 4-second duration with the Spell Echo, this should actually stay up relatively well, and this is so much extra damage in the build, and you're going to notice it, and it's going to feel amazing. So I highly recommend Demon Harpies with Spell Echo if you haven't been using them already, because they are that good. All right. Now the second update. So in the past, last season, we ran a 5-link carry-on golem and then a 5-link of the zombie with it. We found out that adding zombies to the 5-link was actually a DPS increase because just the carry-ons alone weren't enough, and we were wanting to try to use zombies in like a hungry loop, but then we figured out we could just link it in the chest plate with the carry-on, save the extra gem, and get extra damage, and with the aggressive wand, so the zombies are actually aggressive without needing free feeding frenzy support. They're actually pretty good, and their single target is pretty good. So then this season, with the golem jewels being hidden, and then not really wanting to try to fit golem jewels into the build after I already have the build working, I came to the conclusion that I remembered that skeletons have a 2-second dash when aggressive, which is actually the same cooldown as a carry-on golem's leap slam with 3 primordial harmonies. I found this before. So yeah, I have this. This is the Skelly, Summon Skelly PoEDB. So I'll show you this at the same time. They actually have 30 block, and they actually have like a similar thing to glancing blows built into them. They take 15% of damage from blocked hits. So instead of a block being 100%, you take no damage, it's 85%. It's kind of like glancing blows, a mini form, because of how glancing blows makes it so you take, oh, oh wait, it's even worse. It means that if you build block skellies, you only get 15% of the value of it, and 15% damage reduction, instead of the 100% block, like 0% damage, where this is 65 you're taking, this is 15. Alright, now to get into the Skelly page. So we'll first start with the dash. The dash has a 2-second cooldown, and this is only when it's aggressive, and then it has a cast time of 0.15. So that's really cool. And the spell's cast speed cannot be modified. So like technically adding aggressive and giving them the dash is actually could be seen as a downside, because then there's some downtime on your skellies where they're not doing damage, but having the extra mobility is really good. And then they actually have this built in. So they have 30 block, and they take 15% of damage from blocked hits. So this is kind of like glancing blows. If you look at glancing blows, it's you take 65% of damage from blocked hits. And so this is similar to that, but it's not as bad as that. Not as heavy. But it's pretty interesting that skellies have built-in hidden stats this whole time. And then, yeah, the Skelly dash 2 seconds to match with the Carry-On Golem, because Carry-On Golem normally has a 4-second cooldown on its Leap Slam, but with 3 harmonies, it lowers it to 2. Starts at 4. And so basically adding the 10 skellies actually increases my damage. I could show this in the POB. The skellies are like a majority of my damage compared to the zombies. But they're single target, they don't have the slam, and then they also, well, they actually have a dash, so that's actually really good too. One of the downsides of them is they they're very squishy. So if you look in POB, zombie versus skelly, Skelly 13,000, zombie is 51,000. So my skellies actually are dying like in blight or mapping, just one or two skellies every now and then. And so that's a real big problem. And you have to summon them. But oh, and then I forgot to mention the main thing behind this is actually we're using an abberath, which allows the summon skelly warriors to be permanent and follow me. So that's how we're doing that, and we got the extra spell spreads through this and through the quartz flask because of the mage blood. And then I've done something right now in game that's different than that POB, which is I was able to fit. It's pretty simple. I took this reservation small cluster jewel with destructive aspect, increased effect, and so this is pride reservation efficiency. With that, I was able to get purity of fire in the build, 21, and this is because I have a max fire res sanctified relic. So basically, what happens here is I deleted all my mana, and then I took Eldritch Battery so that I still have mana so I can use spells, right? So that's nice. And then we did this. We took out Anima Stone so I don't have the Carry On anymore, and I took out the Unending Hunger for the Soul Eater because max res could be good. So I tried out Purity of Fire, Reservation plus Melding. So the Melding is only a -1 because of the +3, so that's pretty good. And then we were able to get 82 Ellie res. And so I capped the reses by using specifically a Sapphire to get extra cold. And then the all Ellie res, the 40. So that's how I did it. And then I also could have swapped the crafts on here, but it actually worked out with my current gear. I got it to work just by switching the gold flask to a sapphire flask instead. Because you could see this, and then I was thinking I could change a lightning to a cold, but then it still wasn't enough, and I was missing cold and lightning, and then I could have changed this fire to cold and lightning, and I would have had enough of the reses, but I would barely be overcapped. So if I get any curse or exposure or whatever elemental weakness, then I'm gonna lose the reses and I'll die faster than if I had the 82 reses. I'd be better to have the 75s with overcap is my point. So then I was able to get the 75 chaos through the helmet, and I just ended up doing a sapphire, and that caps all of them, and I'm overcapped by 29. So we're semi-safe to lowering it, and most importantly, we also actually take 39% less cold as well. That's also a thing. But the main thing was capping all this shit and having 82. So now I only take 18% of LE instead of 25%. So it's that extra 7%. Pretty nice. Through testing though, I don't really like. I want to do LE flasks. Based on my results, makes me really want to do LE flasks with mageblood. But yeah, these are all my updates for now. What I've been doing. I like the Skelly in the build when they don't die, because obviously it's extra damage and the mobility is really nice. And Demon Harpy is broken, and so trying to make it as good as possible basically. And you could even like try to make it scream more for actual damage, like if I gave it awaken minion damage for example instead, so it would do even more damage. And we could do Awaken Spell Echo for damage instead of just worrying about the cast speed. We could actually go for damage off of our Spectre, and then instead of melee damage and max life, maybe I do like the Frenzy Charge one with Phantasms. There's so many options, so many things to do this season, but I have to end this video at some point, so either way. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for hanging out. If you've ever used a skeleton and you made it to this part in the video and you liked the video, hit the like button so you guys are notified of the next. Thank you guys for watching, and hit that subscribe button so you guys are notified of the next one, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye!